my friends. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Mrs. V's Cozy Corner Creation. That's me, Miss V. Look, today I am going to prepare some beef nachos for dinner. And I have all of my ingredients out. And I'm going to share with you what they are. Now, my hands are clean. I just washed them. And I've also washed my cans, my packages, everything. My fruit, my vegetables, everything. You know, I just don't trust anything nowadays. But my supporting cast for my nachos is going to be some ground beef, which I buy it in bulk, and then I separate it into 1 pound packages. This is about a pound of ground beef, okay? I also use Campbell's Spicy Nacho Cheese Soup. I use this. And what I do is I take this and I mix it up with my refried beans. I mix those two together by themselves. And I'll show you how that turns out. I have a 4.25 ounce of ripe chopped black olives, okay? Of course, sour cream, an avocado, which I've cleaned and washed. I have about 4 stalks of the green onions, which I shared with you how much I love to put them in most of my ingredients, my savory ingredients. Of course, we have a nice tomato, a beefsteak tomato. I'm going to chop up. We have some taco seasoning mix. This just happened to be Old El Paso. That's what I put my hands on, so that's what I purchased at the store. And I have a bag of, restaurant style tortilla chips. And this is just Great Value brand, which is Walmart. Now, what I'm going to do, because I think that my meat could still be a little frozen, I'm going to take it now, and my hands are clean. And I'm going to, let's see. It's a little ice in it, but not very much. So what I'm going to do is open this package, and we're going to set it in the pot, cover it up, the skillet rather, cover it up, and we're going to let it unthaw for the rest of the way so we can cook it thoroughly through. Now, while we wait, excuse me, while we wait for the meat to cook, I'm going to chop up my green onions. Let's see, I'll get a picture of this. I'm going to chop them up. I have a cutting board and my knife. And I'm going to cut them up, chop them rather. Again, I've already cleaned my vegetables. I've washed off all the tops of my can, and this is going to be smooth sailing. You know, during the summer, we try not to make too heavy meals. But we want the meal to be fulfilling, and it's good just to throw something different in sometimes, you know. As I stated before, I like all types of foods. Spanish, Chinese, Italian, it doesn't matter. If it's good food, it's good food. So we've chopped up our green onion. We're going to set that on a plate. And that will already be prepared for one of the toppings. Okay. Next, I'm going to cut up my tomato. Now, what I do like to do is I like to cut my tomato in half, okay? And then I cut it into 4 quarters, okay? And the reason I like to do that, this is my garbage bag. I always have a garbage bowl or a garbage bag next to where you're preparing your foods, and that way it could be in one place, because I always take the seeds out, mostly always, of the tomato, except for if I'm making a sandwich, then I leave the seeds in. But most of the time, I'm always taking the seeds out of the tomato, okay? That's just how we do it here at our home. You may eat the seeds, but we don't like them in everything. Like I said, in sandwiches, I do leave them in, but when it comes to salads, and I know it sounds kind of strange, and things that I'm making like the nachos today, I generally get rid of the seeds, okay? So if you like the seeds, you know, you can use the whole tomato. It's still not a waste to me, because, you know, you're using what you like and what your family likes, okay? So then I just cut it up, okay? And then I chop it. Actually, I slice it up in about, this I sliced up in about 4 slices. And, okay, so we're going to continue to do that. Slice them up, about 4, maybe 5, depending on how big your tomato is. Again, this is a beef steak tomatoes. They're pretty big, but I love the flavor and the taste and the texture of a beef steak tomato. Sometimes you get 3 little slices, and sometimes you get 4. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to chop up the rest of this. And as you can see, it's a very simple dish, a very easy dish, and something that is quick for a weeknight, a weekend, or, you know, or whatever you're preparing it for. It's delicious. Yeah, and it's quick, and it's something simple, something filling, because you have the, some people just use the beef. I use beef and beans in my nachos. And again, I put my favorite toppings on there. And that's how we do our nachos, okay? So, after I finish doing my avocado and chopping up the rest of this, then I'll be back. Okay, now we can see that the ground beef has indeed cooked, almost done. The frozen part of the meat has unthawed. Okay, it was just a small part of it in the middle that had not all the way thawed. It had a little frozen ice in it. But now that we've done that, I know it looks pretty icky right now because of the grease and some of the water that's in here. I usually buy the 80-20, and lately it's been having a little bit more oil than usual. So no problem, just like Mom and them did back when we were growing up. They would buy the cheaper meats and ground beef, and they would cook it and take the fat out of it, and we went ahead and ate it, and we're just fine. So if we have to go cheaper, that's what we do, and we make amendments to it. So what I'm going to do is finish cooking this ground beef until it is done. No pink, no red. And then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to get this oil out of here. I'll be back. Okay, what I did was, as you can see, it's not very much oil in here now, okay? So what I did was, I took the skillet, I got my big spoon here, and I pushed my meat up to the top of the pan, or the skillet, and then I let the fat drain down, and I scooped it up, okay? And I put it in this bowl, and that's what I have, okay? That's what came out of it, okay? So that saves on your paper towels, and it saves on your plumbing, because you do not want to take that fat and put it down your sink, okay? It will cause problems later on in your plumbing, okay? So now we're going to continue to cook this ground beef until it gets crumbly, okay? And it's looking really, really good right now. Just a pound of ground beef. I think my son may come and eat some, but it's plenty, because when we get through mixing the beans in and adding the toppings, it's going to be delicious and filling, because you have your beans and you have your beef, okay? And then we'll have the restaurant style tortilla chips with them, okay? So what we're going to do now is I'm going to open, let's get our taco sauce. We have our taco sauce here, and let's see, I need to add 3/4 cups of water with that. So let's get that ready. 3/4 cups of water, okay? Okay, so I have 3/4 cups of water, maybe a little bit over. It's okay. It won't hurt, because I may add some more. And, you know, different people fix their nachos different. This is the way that I've always fixed mine. And my family has enjoyed it down through the years. Now, sometimes I have sliced jalapeños to put on, so you can do that as well. I don't have them today, so we're not going to use them. And I do have that Campbell's soup that I said I was going to put in there, but I think I'm not going to put it in there, because the it says that that is a new blend of nacho cheese sauce. And it looks like it may be a little bit more spicier. I don't mind the spicy, but I don't know how spicy that is, so I don't want to use it in my food today. So I put that back. So I won't be using the Campbell's nacho cheese soup. Okay? I think this is great. Okay? So now we're going to go ahead and put our taco sauce in. Okay? This is very easy for a beginning mother or family to, you know, make for dinner. Something quick, something different. And as I always say, it's good to try different recipes and you tweak it to the way that you like it. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Now we're going to bring this to a boil. Let it thicken up some. And then we're going to add the beans. Okay, let's add the refried beans. This is just a traditional can of refried beans. Of course, if you wanted to add black beans, pinto beans, red beans, or whatever type of beans you want to add, you could do that as well. I'm adding refried beans because that's what we like. And I have had them with black beans as well, and that is delicious too. Get rid of that can. And we're just going to wake these beans up. They've been in a can. They're perfectly fresh and perfectly delicious. Okay? Now, what I'm probably going to do is add a little water to this just to thin it out some, but I'm going to first get my beans in here and see some of the beans are even whole. See that? They're even whole in there. So it's okay. You got some refried and some whole. The point is, make it the way you enjoy eating it, okay? So then we're just going to take and we're going to incorporate the beans and the delicious, the beans and the beef together, and that's going to be an awesome taste. Okay, some people do it separate. I used to do my beef separate from my beans, but you know, in the end, it's all going to be together on the same plate, serving the same purpose. It just depends on what you like and how you like it. Let's add some water to those beans. Okay. This is about a half a cup of water, and we'll do maybe a quarter cup, okay? And we'll do it like that, quarter cup, okay? So that loosens up the beans and makes it conform more to the beef sauce, okay? And some people like theirs really thick. Some people like theirs a little thin. I don't like too thick or nothing. You know, and especially in my, you know, I don't want it watery, but I don't want it so thick either. So we're going to let that cook, and I'm going to pour the rest of that water in, okay? And we're going to mix this up, and that's going to be it. So I added about total a half a cup of water, okay? So it's not making it so watery. See, it's still thick. See there? See there? It's still thick, okay? So we're going to let this cook for a minute. Let everything schmooze together. That's a word I made up. Don't look for it. You probably won't find it. But let's let this all mesh together for a little bit, and we'll be back. Okay, now we're going to deal with this avocado. Okay. Now, I didn't pick up a lime or a lemon. Usually I use that to put it on after I've opened it and cut it up to keep it from browning. But it seemed like the last time, oh, this is not good. Look at that. It's been bruised up quite a bit over on that side, as you can see. And so it went, I call that an infection. So it went through the whole thing there, and I'm not comfortable eating that, so I'm going to toss that. So it's okay. We got tomatoes and olives and green onions and sour cream and cheese. I forgot to mention the cheese. So that's going to be fine. Sometime, you know, avocado is a fruit, And so sometimes it can be bruised up in processing. And so this is what has happened to that. But we're going to come back with a plate ready to eat. Stay tuned. Okay. Now, we are ready to finish these nachos. Let me get a spoon here. Okay. This is the sauce. I warmed it up. And so we're going to take and put some on the plate. Let me move it over some so you can see. Like this. Okay. This is how we fix ours. Okay. Put a lot in there and a lot on the sides. This is for my husband, and he doesn't like sour cream, but he likes the taco sauce on his. So what I do is I put my cheese on top of my meat and beans. Okay? So that's how we're going to do that. And this is the Fiesta blend. Okay? It has Monterey Jack, cheddar, queso, and asadero cheese. I guess I said that right, but you can see that. Okay? So then we're going to put some tomatoes. You want some olives? Some olives. Okay. And some green onions. And then I'm going to put a little bit of this Ortega Mayo taco sauce. Okay, and that's going to pretty much do it. Let's get that on. Yes. Mrs. V's nachos. Don't they look amazing? This is delicious. This is my husband's plate. Honey, come on, get your food. And everyone can tweak their dish the way that they like to eat it. But this is good, quick. Ground beef, canned refried beans, fresh tomatoes, green onions, black olives, cheese, and here we go. Voila. Look, I hope you enjoyed this recipe today. I'll put it in the description box, and maybe you'll try it with your family. Have a nice weekend, and remember to always come in with Mrs. V's Cozy Corners Creations, and you will be blessed. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.